My name is Mike, and I am 62 years old, and the moment my marriage finally died didn't come with screaming or fists or shattered furniture. It came with silence. The kind of silence that settles in your chest when you realize the person sleeping beside you has been lying to you for years and smiling while doing it. For 38 years, I believed I was a patient man, a loyal man, the kind of man who fixed leaking sinks at midnight, who drove through snowstorms to pick up cold medicine, who stayed quiet during arguments because I thought love meant endurance. I was wrong. And that night, standing alone in my garage at 2:14 a.m., holding a phone that wasn't mine, I understood something far more painful. Patience, when abused, turns into self-betrayal. I met Elaine when I was 24 and still believed life followed rules. She wore a yellow dress and laughed like she wasn't afraid of being seen. I fell for her fast, the way men do when they think love will save them from uncertainty. We built a life the slow way. A small house, 2 kids, missed vacations, late bills, early mornings. I worked maintenance at a hospital for most of my life, not glamorous but honest. Elaine stayed home when the kids were young, then worked part-time at a dental office. We looked like stability from the outside. But stability can rot quietly. By my late 50s, Elaine had changed. New clothes, new perfume. Her phone never left her hand. She laughed at messages she wouldn't explain. "You're imagining things," she'd say gently, too gently. I wanted to believe her. Men my age are taught that suspicion is insecurity and insecurity is weakness, so I swallowed it. Until the night the silence broke. Elaine forgot her phone in the car. That never happened. I went out to the garage to bring it in, meaning no harm. The screen lit up as I picked it up. A message preview appeared. "Can't wait to feel you again." I stood there for a long time, the concrete cold under my bare feet. I didn't scream, I didn't cry. I sat on an overturned bucket and finally let the truth arrive. She wasn't confused, she wasn't lonely, she was deliberate. I scrolled, I read. Months of lies, jokes about me. Plans made while I fixed dinner and folded laundry and believed I was still someone's husband. What broke me wasn't the affair. It was the disrespect. People think betrayal makes you angry first. It doesn't. It makes you small. For weeks, I moved through the house like a guest in my own life. I watched Elaine hum while cooking. I listened to her complain about work. I noticed how easily she touched my arm when she wanted something. And something inside me hardened, not into rage but clarity. I wasn't going to beg, I wasn't going to explode, and I wasn't going to hurt anyone. But I was done being quiet. The confrontation happened on a Sunday evening. I set the table, cooked her favorite meal, poured wine, let her talk. Then I placed her phone on the table between us. Face down. Her fork froze midair. "You forgot this in the garage," I said calmly. She stared at it like it might bite her. I didn't accuse, I didn't shout. I told her what I knew, dates, messages, lies. She cried, of course she did. She blamed stress, she blamed age, she blamed me for being distant, tired, predictable. I listened. Then I stood. "I'm filing for divorce," I said, "tomorrow." She reached for me, I stepped back. "For years," I continued, "I thought being a good man meant absorbing pain quietly. I was wrong. A good man doesn't disappear to make room for someone else's selfishness." She screamed then, called me cruel, heartless. I didn't argue. I packed a bag. And I left the house I paid for, with my dignity intact. The weeks that followed were brutal. Loneliness doesn't announce itself, it creeps. I sat in my apartment listening to the refrigerator hum, wondering how I'd become a background character in my own marriage. But something unexpected happened too. I started sleeping better. I started walking in the mornings, cooking for myself, talking to people again. I told my children the truth, calmly, without poison. I refused to turn them into weapons. Elaine, I heard later, didn't fare as well. The man she'd sacrificed her marriage for didn't want the aftermath. He wanted excitement, not accountability. Betrayal is flashy at first. Then it collapses under its own weight. Months later, Elaine asked to meet. "I made a mistake," she said, eyes red. "I didn't think you'd actually leave." I smiled, not cruelly but honestly. "That," I said, "was your biggest mistake." I didn't hate her. I just refused to return to a life where my silence was mistaken for permission. Today, I am 62 years old. I live in a smaller place. I have fewer things, but I have something priceless. Self-respect. I learned that revenge doesn't heal you, violence doesn't restore dignity, and humiliation, no matter how tempting, only poisons the person who carries it. The real power is walking away with your values intact. Moral: betrayal doesn't destroy you unless you betray yourself trying to survive it. Silence is not love. Endurance is not loyalty. And the strongest response to disrespect is not cruelty, but clarity, boundaries, and the courage to leave.